to the October edition of Feeding Our Faith. With me today I've got Bob and Teddy Huttenmeyer, and we're going to be making pork spare ribs in sauerkraut. Now this is a great recipe. First off, you start out with these pork spare ribs, and you'll want to go ahead and give them salt and pepper a little bit on all sides. And we're going to slow braise this in a slow cooker. So this is a really good recipe to be able to make for this time of year when perhaps you're busy, you got school and work and stuff like that going on, and you want to be able to make something you can stick in the crock pot and come back later. But first we're going to sear off the pork spare ribs and then put them in the slow cooker, and then we're going to cook a little bit of onions and garlic and put those in as well. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started with the ribs. Bob and Teddy, how long have y'all been here at Holy Family? Have y'all been here for a number of years, or about how long have y'all been members?
19 years.
Okay, that's
a good amount of time.
That's a fair amount of time. We've seen priests come and go.
Yes, yes.
Not too many.
Not too many. One of the things we're going to be talking about, our topic for this month, is actually going to be on who's saved, are you saved, which is a question a lot of us Catholics get. Now, I know the two of y'all have been pretty active in RCIA, so you've got a lot of people that will come in that'll be converts to the faith, and so odds are they probably have a lot of those same questions of, how do Catholics believe that we're saved and what all that means. So do you get a lot of questions like that in RCIA?
Sometimes, not too many times.
Okay.
Because they're there because they want to learn more than if we're saved or not.
Okay. Now, are both of y'all cradle Catholics?
No, I am.
You are? Uh-oh, Bob, where'd you come from?
Oh, no, about 84.
84, he came into the church.
That's right.
Okay, so you came into the church in 84, but Teddy, you're Catholic from birth.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Bob, what denomination did you come from?
Episcopalian.
Okay, so it wasn't too big of a jump for you,
No,
was it?
everything's the same.
Okay. What was probably the biggest change for you? Or was there anything that was kind of a big change for you?
No, not really. The sermons were the same. Even if you look in when you had the book, everything was the same.
Okay, well that's good. As we're searing these off right now, you want to kind of try and get a little bit of color on them, and so that's what we're trying to do here. You're not trying to cook the ribs all the way through, you're just wanting to kind of get them a little brown. Now after we've seared these off, we're going to put them in the crock pot, and then we're going to cook some onions and garlic. We actually have 3 cloves of garlic with about an onion and a half, kind of a nice large white onion that we're using to saute in the pan. And so our next step here is going to be to move these ribs into the crock pot. And as you'll see, there's some nice color on them. And so we'll take these ribs, and you'll notice they're not fully cooked. So that's why they'll finish off actually in this slow cooker and get really nice and tender, which makes for a nice tasty dish. So we put the pan back on the stove top, you'll notice, and we'll go ahead and take that rather large white onion that was minced up, and we'll have the heat actually up there close to medium high to high. We'll put the onions in, then we'll put the garlic in, and we'll want to add a little bit more salt and pepper to it. Now, how long have y'all been teaching RCIA?
About 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
30 years, yeah.
When we were in New Jersey, we did that as soon as he became Catholic, and then continued when we came here.
Okay. So who was your sponsor? Was it Teddy or?
No, it was...
No, then we weren't allowed to be sponsors of our spouses.
Oh, okay.
He had to have somebody
It
else.
was down the block. I can't remember.
Ann and Sal.
I don't remember the last name. And so,
Okay, but there were some neighbors or friends? Or?
yeah, they lived right
Yes.
down the block from us.
Okay.
And,
So that's who he had.
Okay.
And it was a little different because we weren't allowed to teach or anything. Only the priest. We had 4 priests.
Oh wow.
So only
Okay.
the priest did the RCIA. And then eventually it worked into everything else.
Okay, wow. Yeah, the times have changed a lot.
Yes.
Now, I know, of course, the topic for this month is going to be on Are You Saved, and how do we know we're saved? And now, I know you've said that's something which you don't get a lot in RCIA, but have you ever had friends or family or people like that ask you? that question?
Most of my family and friends are Catholic,
Okay.
so never really came up.
Oh, really? Okay. How about you, Bob?
No, because every, the religion is practically the same. I mean, when I went into the Catholic Church, I picked up the book and I thought I was in the Episcopal. There was really no difference, not even in the words.
Okay. The next thing we do is, while the onions are cooking, along with the garlic, is we need to get the sauerkraut in there. Now, what we did was we got a jar of sauerkraut and we drained it. And you can, if you want, I mean, you can use more sauerkraut if you've got more people, but you know, it all depends upon how much you're needing to make. But we put the jar of sauerkraut in there, and if you can't find jarred sauerkraut, you can use a couple of cans of sauerkraut, and that will actually work really well. Next, we need to go ahead and kind of deglaze the pan a little bit and add some liquid back into what this will be, into the crock pot. Now, here's an option for you. Now, some people, oftentimes I'll use some white wine for this. Some people will sometimes use chicken stock, which you're welcome to use chicken stock. I've also heard a couple people use beer for this, but it's whatever you'd like. All three actually work very, very well. And so as we do that, we've got the onions cooking here, and we'll go ahead and put in, and we put in about a cup and a half of white wine, and we let it kind of stir around a little bit. And while you're doing this, you'll want to kind of scrape the bottom of your pan, if it's a stainless steel pan, and get up any of the little bits that are down there in the bottom, because those add some flavor to your dish. Then after you kind of let it cook for about a minute or so, you'll take that mixture and you will put it into your crock pot. There we go. And so we put all that in our crock pot. And you might kind of mix it around a little bit. And then you will cap it and go ahead and begin to cook it. I usually start it off on high if I have only a limited amount of time, because you can cook this in 3.5 to 4 hours. And so I'll put it on high if I need to do that. But if I've got time, then I'll go ahead and put it on low and then come back anywhere from 7 to 8 hours later. So now we have our finished pork spare ribs and sauerkraut. And we're going to do a little taste test to see how we did. You're welcome to dig in, Bob. I know you like to dig in.
I know,
it's pretty hot,
I know.
but be careful.
Looking good, smelling good.
So good.
So give this recipe a try.
Delicious.
Glad you like it, Bob. And we will be having this as our specific recipe for the October version of Feeding Our Faith. And I hope you all will come, and we will see you at Feeding Our Faith, where we will cover, am I saved? How do I know? Thank you very much.
You eat these sauerkraut, you eat these ribs, you'll be saved.